The Spirit can lead us to inner clues about what's going on in the spiritual world. So if we pay attention to our everyday life in little things, you can get a really good insight on actually what is happening. Your main goal in wanting to be more intuitive is so that you can protect your spirit from any negative influences around you. And when I say negative influences, I mean things like people have negative intentions sometimes, even if it's unconscious. They don't realize that they're doing it, but if people get jealous or have envy, then that's something you want to look out for. So sometimes if you have a plan about doing something, you want to keep it to yourself. But basically, you want to pay attention to the clues around you so you can get to know if anything you have to look out for, or like I said, make it easier to make a good decision. And that would help you a lot. Your main goal in wanting to be intuitive is to really get any clues from your spirit voice that can lead you into the direction of the future that you're meant to be in. It's easy to get sidetracked, and people don't always have the best of intentions, so you don't want to be influenced by their negativity. You want to stay on track, get to the future that you were intended to have. You are intended to have blessings. So don't get sidetracked on the way. Protect yourself, get to know what the clues are that are happening around you, and it will help you make a better decision. It is really each of our own responsibility to make good decisions, because you end up being in the place you are in your life because of all those past decisions that you made. So whether they're good or not, they all ended up being decisions that you made. So you need to make the best of what's happening to you, or you need to intentionally set a direction for yourself. Listen to yourself. Your intuitiveness knows what to do. So you just need to pay attention to the clues around you. So first of all, what are some places that you can really hear the clues that your spirit is trying to tell you? I'm going to give you the first one is in the shower. In the shower, you're doing self-care and you're not thinking about anything, and your mind can kind of wander. Anytime you're in a specific place doing remedial things, you can hear your thoughts better. Plus, there's also something about the shower that I find really interesting. I think the water just blocks negativity, and you can kind of hear thoughts better. You get ideas, and you need to kind of pay attention to your thoughts at that time. And if you have any ideas, it's a good place in the shower to hear clues. Another great place that you can hear spiritual clues is while you're driving. The great thing about driving is it's another thing where it puts your mind in this Zen kind of zone, and you're not really paying attention to what you're doing, although please be careful while you're driving. But turn the music off. That's really major. Don't have any other sound. You're in the car by yourself. And just listen to your thoughts. Let your mind go ahead and come up with things. And this is how you get in tune with yourself. This is how you learn how to hear your mental thoughts about things. And your spirit can give you messages this way. So in the car is a great way to pay attention to those. Another great way to hear your spiritual clues is while you're outside in nature or you're exercising. You can easily tune into what's happening because there's no, gotta turn off the music. There's no music, there's nothing else getting in the way of your thoughts. In nature, you're a lot more in tune to your spirit there. It is a great way to hear clues of what's happening there. So if you want to contemplate something, or say you have a decision you have to make, that's why people like to go for a walk. They like to take a hike and think about it. It's one of the great ways to kind of hear your spiritual clues. Another thing about exercising that I wanted to tell you was I do a 2-mile walk or run at my lunch break at work, and every time I go around there, I have gotten into the habit of allowing myself to hear my thoughts. And anything you do in repetition helps you increase that intuitive ability because you are setting yourself time to listen. So I ended up getting so many ideas when I walked around or ran during this time, and it was so much that I had to bring my phone because then I wanted to voice record my ideas that I got. But it's also important to let yourself think, so you can't run with like headphones, and I know a lot of people like to do that, but if you want to concentrate on getting clues from your spirit, it's a great thing to do is to not have any music. So those are some places that you can hear yourself and hear your thoughts and hear the voice of your spirit telling you clues. And now I'm going to give you a couple examples of everyday life where you might be looking for these clues like I do. One of them is numbers. I always see repetitiveness in numbers, or I have certain numbers that I like. And don't go crazy with this. It's just that if you're trying to look for negativity around you or see if there's something you should look out for, because being aware and on guard is the best thing that you can do for your spirit to protect yourself. So there are certain numbers that I like and certain numbers that I don't like. So I have numbers I like are 5, 12, 30, 11, a bunch of those. You may have your own specific numbers that keep coming up that you see, that you like. I know my daughter, she always sees whenever the 11 is on the clock or on an address or somewhere, she always goes, oh, wow. It's like a spiritual signpost that tells you you're on the right track. One interesting story was I have 3 daughters, and when I was pregnant for the first time, her due date was on a number that I didn't really like. So I never told anybody that. And later, years later, after she was grown, she told me that she knew that I didn't want her to be born on that certain number date. So she ended up being born on the following date, which is a really strange thing because I never said that to her. So it's very powerful, our intuitive spiritual selves, and there's a whole world out there that's just so interesting. So it's fun to pay attention to these clues. Another thing that gives us huge spiritual clues in our everyday lives are from our pets and from our animals. And the dog specifically is a great companion. It always has this deep connection with our owner. It is really a terrific companion that, and it's interesting that the dog is spelled backwards as God. I think it's used in a way to communicate to us messages from our spirit, and the dog is a huge one. Another animal that I really love is the horse, and I think just from its sheer size, it can heal us so well. It is a terrific companion spiritually for a human being. I think that's why equine therapy is so popular and it's really effective. Anytime a human being is around a horse, the horse can regulate the heartbeat to slow down and to regulate. It can balance the stress in a person, and it's a really amazing animal. Another way you can get spiritual clues in your everyday life is by dreams. You need to keep a dream journal. It is very vital to record all of the dreams that you've had because those symbols are unique to you. So in order to understand the dreams that you're having, you need to look back on what you recorded and compare that to what's happening in your everyday life. And then you can better understand what those dreams are. Plus you can get prepared for the dreams coming up. When you have a dream and it's really vivid, you're wondering, what kind of message is that? What is it trying to tell me? So you're used to those certain things of the dreams that you have. If you keep a journal, you can see that. And it's a great way to reference exact meanings of what's happening in your spirit. I've kept a dream journal for so many years. And over those years, I've realized one thing that's a continuous signal in my dreams is water. Water is a sign of emotion, and depending on if the water's turbulent or if it's calm and relaxing can give you clues on what's happening in your life. Another thing are colors. Certain colors can give you a clue to what's happening. Yellow is kind of a warning sign. Red is urgency. Another big thing in dreams that I've experienced are, say you have a dream that you're in a house and it feels like yours, you're not sure, whatever building you're in or the feeling of the house, pay attention to what condition the house is in, because I feel like that is kind of like an epicenter to what's happening in your spiritual mind. If it's under construction, if it's a disaster, if it's a mess, or if it has destruction in it, that's a lot of work that you have to be doing towards your spiritual self, and you have to take care of yourself. So that could equal stress in your life, and you need to pay attention to those little things with buildings, and it gives you a good clue on what's happening. So I hope this helps you better understand what kind of clues you could be looking out for and where you can be to really hone in on your clues to your spiritual self. If you like this, subscribe to my channel, and you can also find me on social media, and I'll be giving you tips on different things you could do, even treatments to balance your spirit. Also, take a look in the links below. I have a guide that can tell you more about negativity and if it's blocking you from your goals. So check that out below, and thank you so much.